As Craig mentioned, we have 1,200 athletes who are here. We will celebrate 1,200 athletes. It's 40% of where we usually are. And I will tell you that putting on a games like this for 40% does not mean 40% of the work. It's double the work. Our staff are tired, but we're doing it for the 1,200. And maybe more importantly, we're doing it for those who haven't rejoined us just yet. We celebrate the 1,200, but our job is not done with this COVID pandemic until we get all of our athletes back. And we will do that. And it's thanks to the hard work of donors and our staff and our volunteers who continue to make it possible that we see the end of all this here very soon. We celebrate our past. The first games here in 1970, you saw what that looked like. I look at those and I celebrate what it was in the 70s, and I'm also amazed at how far we've come from those days. I will say, though, that these games may be more important to us as an organization than even those in 1970, because it is a return to what we hope will be 100% in 22. One of the partners, though, that helps us make all of this possible, who continues to be there by our side even when our athletes stay home, they are with us. They are with our athletes in spirit, is Duke Energy. They've been supporting us for over 40 years, and including being out in the hot 90-degree heat on the hot pavement, giving our athletes a chance to rest under the bingo tent. And they're out there supporting our athletes year-round. They've stepped up in a big way, though, this year in 2021, because we're here to announce, through a partnership with Duke Energy, that this year they are donating $100,000 to Special Olympics Indiana. We know that virtual fitness challenges are important. Even when we continue to go back more and more in person, we will still have virtual challenges for our athletes because it is encouraging them to stay fit when they are away from their coaches. It's making a dramatic difference. I would say that the most significant difference this past year in 2020 is the empowered athlete. You've met one, Melanie, who is now taking ownership of her own health and fitness. And you still want to coach, but you don't need your coach all the time. We are now doing that with Duke Energy, providing a new unified sports and fitness challenge for our Unified Champion Schools program that you've heard a little bit about. Engaging thousands of students is our hope by the end of the year, virtually through fitness across the state. Also, with this money, we will work with the Indiana High School Athletic Association to start our next Champions Together state competition. And finally, a portion of their donation will help us send Team Indiana to the 2022 USA Games in Orlando. So on behalf of our 18,000 athletes, all of whom will soon return to us in person, we serve them each year. I'd like to thank you, Duke Energy, and the Duke Energy Foundation for this incredible gift. In addition to the $100,000, they have also sponsored $25,000 to help run these games. So in essence, it's $125,000. Here to represent Duke Energy, our board member, Vice President of Midwest Regional Support, Cicely Hart.
So thank you. Good afternoon. As Jeff mentioned, we at Duke Energy have a long history with supporting and participating in the Special Olympics of Indiana. It dates back to our former CEO, Al Barker. He was a passionate about the organization, and he started this tradition of philanthropic and volunteering support and board membership that continues today. As he mentioned again, we made a contribution, but I do want to recognize our Indiana State President, Stan Penninger, and his leadership team who made that possible. Stan. The Unified Champion Program is a two-way street, the way we see it, creating opportunities for those with and without intellectual disabilities to compete together. We gain as much from Special Olympics as it gives to us. Over our years of involvement, the organization has opened up our hearts and our minds to the gifts of people with intellectual disabilities, and we've seen firsthand the transformative power that sports can have in their lives. So this group's committed leaders and volunteers make it all possible, and we thank you very much. It's an honor for us to participate. Thank you.